It's me, Bussy, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be sipping and spilling a little bit of tea, so get ready to slurp it up. First, we'll be going over the entire timeline of the kerfuffle between Carmen Carerra and Venus Delight concerning how she addressed the Ukraine situation just a couple days ago. And then we'll be diving into the details of this article that I saw floating around titled, Bianca Del Rio, many new drag queens are delusional and lack talent. And finally, we'll be checking in with one of this channel's favorites, Tamisha Iman, who seems to be making a bit of a comeback. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, Carmen Carerra. The backstory here between her and the fight she's currently in with Venus, I guess if you could call it that, starts on February 26, when Carmen posted these photos to her Facebook profile and wrote this message. Hey guys, I'm sorry for what's happening in the world. You don't have to like this post, but I do want to say that I believe in the power of prayer. This fit just happens to be the same colors of the flag. Felt like I needed to say that I'm in support of the people. Please keep the people of Ukraine in your mind and hearts. Which, if you go through some of the comments, wasn't received particularly well. And on the side of criticism, we found Venus Delight, who actually reposted Carmen's original Facebook post on her own personal Instagram and wrote the caption, "Do you even know where the Ukraine is? Laughing emoji, hashtag meh." And in the comments, Carmen responded to Venus there writing, "Why are you so obsessed with me? LOL." And Venus replied to Carmen's reply writing, "Why are you so obsessed with yourself? The children want to know." Crying laughing emoji. That same day, one Twitter user wrote, "It's disgusting to see celebrities like Madonna and Carmen Carerra making posts on Instagram of themselves dressed half in a leotard, dancing and posing suggestively with captions they are in solidarity or praying for Ukraine. Not about you right now." And Carmen actually quote tweeted this fan's criticism of her, writing, "Hey, I just so happen to be half at the same time this is going on with Ukraine, and I felt like I should say something. Sorry you're hurting, hashtag pray for Ukraine." And the very next day, Carmen took to Facebook once again to seemingly address the situation with a couple of photos of herself writing this poem. "From the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks love. A heart that is pure does not speak evil. A heart that is evil does not speak love. A good deed is never lost. They who sow courtesy reaps friendship, and they who plant kindness gathers love. A vibe called blessed." Not to be confused with the rap group A Tribe Called Quest. And then that same day, Venus addressed the Carmen situation once more in a video posted to Instagram. And this video is pretty long, so I'm just gonna include a few excerpts here which can give you a general idea of how Venus is feeling about the situation.
Children who have no place to sleep tonight is no way an opportunity for you to go on a whim and use a photo shoot that you did for a lingerie company and be like, oh, well, you know, this totally matches the theme of the colors of a country that's being invaded. I think you showed your ass and you really made an ass of yourself.
And there are a couple comments on this video, but it doesn't seem that Carmen addressed her here. Instead, Carmen herself made a video, which she posted to Instagram, saying this.
I make my content for people who love me, who follow me, and I do it for me. I don't do it for you and for your approval. I can empathize, and I'm big enough to apologize if I have hurt anyone's feelings, but all those nasty, rude comments like, who raised you? Let's try practicing having more integrity about the things that we say when other people make mistakes or do things that we don't like.
Venus Delight did chime in here though, writing, "Girl, who raised you?" To which, as of the time I'm recording this, Carmen hasn't responded. And that very same day, Carmen also did reiterate the sentiments expressed in that video on Twitter, writing, "Asking someone to take accountability does not look like insults, shaming, vile comments, and or content about the person. Ever." Which officially closes the book on the Carmen Carerra versus Venus Delight saga. Next up, Bianca Del Rio. I saw this headline floating around titled, "Bianca Del Rio, many new drag queens are delusional and lack talent," as reported by Queerty on February 28th. As it turns out, the article as published by Queerty with the spicy headline is essentially a republishing of pieces of an interview that Bianca Del Rio did on the 25th with a website called PinkNews. But in the article, we also see the interview asked her some interesting questions like, "You are one of America's most well-known drag queens. Would you be a judge on Drag Race or a host on an international version of the show?" To which she replies, "I would never say no, but I have no idea. Drag is kind of everywhere right now, so if I couldn't contribute to it in a new and exciting way, I have no desire to do it. I'm happy doing what I'm doing." And then she's asked the follow-up question, "Drag is constantly changing. What is the biggest shift you've seen recently in drag?" To which Bianca replies, "I think one of the biggest changes is the level of delusion. There's just such a large amount of delusion, and there's no substance, you know? I think the lack of talent is something that's quite relevant irrelevant and kind of annoying. Now I think everybody wants to go on Drag Race and assumes that they're going to have fame and they're going to travel the world. And that might happen, but there's a huge amount of oversaturation. And her sentiment about oversaturation and drag being overexposed was very topical, but the question of is overexposure or oversaturation of drag queens from the Drag Race franchise happening is a harder question to actually answer. But I did find some data on Instagram followers for queens of this season and previous seasons that give us some clues on if this could be happening. So starting with season 14, this chart was posted to Reddit right after episode 5, and we can see the Cornbread here at this point in time had the most Instagram followers, totaling over 233,000, and Deja Sky at the least, just over 41,000. And the other metric I think worth noting in this chart is that at this point in time, there were actually 8 queens with less than 100,000 followers. This chart was posted by a deleted Reddit user, which tracked the number of Instagram followers for each queen of season 13 as of February 6th, which would have been right after episode 6 of season 13 aired. And we can see here immediately that the numbers of followers these queens had is drastically different. There were 6 queens who at this point in time had more followers than the highest followed queen from season 14 by episode 5, Cornbread, and only 1 queen had less than 100,000 followers at this point. And I also found a follower tracking spreadsheet posted by Reddit user RAAWX going all the way back to season 10, which shows that after episode 5, the queen with the highest number of followers, Aquaria, had 443,000, and the queen with the lowest, Calorie Kardashian, had about 94,000. And at this point in time of season 10, there were 5 queens with about as many or more followers than the single most followed queen of season 14, and only 2 queens from this season had below 100,000 followers at this time. And it's pretty easy to see when you put these 3 charts side by side that there's a huge difference in the number of Instagram followers these queens of season 14 are getting when compared to previous seasons. But it's also important to note that these couple of charts certainly don't tell the whole story, and the number of Instagram followers cannot truly measure oversaturation of the Drag Race queens in the franchises. And as a personal anecdote, I'll just say it used to be really easy to follow and keep up with every queen from the Drag Race franchise because we would only get like 12, 13, maybe 14 new queens a year. But since season 13, the Drag Race fan base has been exposed to so many new queens. There's been Canada season 2, Drag Race UK 2, Drag Race UK 3, Drag Race España, Drag Race Holland season 2, Drag Race Italia, Drag Race Down Under, and now Drag Race 14. But is it too much? I don't know. I'm watching most of them. But then again, of course, it kind of is my job. But let me know what you're thinking. Do you feel like the field of drag is too oversaturated? Do you feel like you have too many options when you're picking out drag shows to see? And if you do use Instagram to follow the queens from the franchise, I would love to hear about your following habits. Lots to think about, and I'll also ask you one more question here. This was a very cursory and brief overview of the type of data deep dive that I could do on this particular topic, but I didn't want to dive all the way in without fielding your interest. So let me know if maybe you would want to see me do more of this sort of data-driven research about follower numbers, trends, and more concerning the queens. And finally, let's check in with Ms. Tamisha Iman, CEO of the Tamisha Iman Network. So you undoubtedly are aware she has sustained a pretty controversial presence online over the past year since being on Drag Race 13. And in October of 2021, she wrote this on Twitter. On a brighter note, I will not be attending DragCon, but I personally want to thank the amazingly beautiful people I've met on this journey. But it's time for me to get off this ride and move forward with life. The damage has been done both ways, and I digress. And offered no further explanation to the fans at that time. However, her relationship with World of Wonder seems to be improving based on her most recent social media activity. On February 23rd, she posted a photo of herself with Elliott with 2 T's, and herself in front of what appears to be some sort of studio gate of World of Wonder on Twitter, writing, "Thanks." And on that same photo posted to Instagram, she wrote the caption, "Can't come to LA without stopping by headquarters," possibly suggesting that her and Elliott could be working on something with the production company. Who knows? And then at the end of February, she posted a DragCon promotional poster to her Instagram profile with the caption writing, "Let me be the first to say, originally I was not attending DragCon this year due to the lack of communication between the franchise and myself. After a recent conversation with headquarters, assuring me of my unshakable position within the organization and the massive support of their true fans and sisterhood, I have decided to be in attendance. Tam fam, see you there," which ultimately is all good news. And I think I can speak for many when I say that really we all just want her to find the success that she deserves. And hopefully she'll get continued opportunities to continue to work with World of Wonder and be able to share her story. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today, and as always, love to hear your opinions on everything we talked about today down in the comments below, but make sure to keep it civil. And I also want to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I also want to give a special shout out to my generous patrons who make my channel possible, and I want to to give a special shout out to Ali Al, Angel, Cyrus, Dicky, Felicia, Hector Simancas, JB, Jeffrey, Josh, JP in Dallas, Laura, Lisette, Matthew Burns, Matthew Bauer, Maxila Wow, Miss F, Neely, Ryan Beats, Scooby Snacks, Sailor, Steven, Tom Jaco, Tom Young, Topher, Triton, Wheelie, and Yeejit, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier over on patreon.com/BussyQueen. That's my members only website where you can join to get exclusive member benefits like early access to my videos, access to exclusive videos, and access to the Bussy Queen Discord server. And you can join by clicking the link in the description of this video. See you there. Love ya. Bye.